morning. It is your founding father, Alex Cooper, with Call Her Daddy.
So, Ruhi, why are we doing another podcast?
So Freddie Birdie once said that podcasts are the new avocados. And I think that stayed with me. Like they probably are, like every second person has one right now.
That's true. But I feel like ours will have better seasoning.
Yeah, for sure. And as funny, cliche as that sounds, what do you think is set us apart from everybody else? Like where are we going? What are we? Who are we? There are like 100 questions we're going to bring to you in this intro.
Yeah, and I think both of us come with like very different points of view and different perspectives. So it'll be interesting how we approach our opinions on design, on art, on culture, on motherhood, on parenting, on just finding who we are as people and our identity. And I think that's what's really interesting.
Yeah. So I feel like with us in Loose Ends, I don't think it's something where we're going to ask you what, why. I think it's going to be more of a podcast which like leaves you with a lot more questions.
Cliffhangers.
Yeah.
So tell me more about you, because I'm sure people will want to know who we are and why we're doing this together.
Okay, so
who
like
is
a
Ruhi?
Ruhi Saisha introduction,
Yes.
yeah? Okay. So if you really ask me, like I thought about it, right, from yesterday that what am I, who am I? And the only thing I could think was that I think I'm just somebody who's trying to rebrand myself in my 30s, right?
That's fun. Why do you feel like you need to rebrand yourself?
I feel like we all kind of rebrand ourselves now and then. We're evolving our 20s, our 30s.
Poster child.
Poster child of somebody who keeps rebranding herself every
6 months?
6 months? Okay,
Yeah.
6 months. So I feel like we're all rebranding ourselves, and I think it's good in a way. You're growing, you're alive, and you're trying to change. And thank God I'm not the same person who wore like the slacks and the skirt and then the t-shirt on top of it. Like you evolve from so much more, and I feel like now I've come to a stable point where I know who I am, and I think I'm ready to put it out there.
I'm so excited to see this version of you, and I feel like that's what's going to be fresh, because I feel like everyone today has very similar taste because all the content that we're consuming is so similar.
Oh my God,
so I feel like
so similar.
Exactly. So I feel like your identity, what makes you unique, is what's going to set us apart. And I think people would be really interested to know, because you've had so many different phases of your life, right? I mean, I know back in the day, some people who are probably watching this did know you from like school and then college, and then how you evolved. You went to Singapore, you were in Florence.
She knows it all. She knows it all.
You were in Singapore.
I chose the right partner.
But you were in Singapore, you were in Florence, how you went through, your marriage and now motherhood. I feel like people don't give it enough credit. I feel like women don't.
Do you think we ourselves, we don't give it? Like how much, like even with you, I feel like you've gone through so many phases of life. You've organized such amazing things. You had this whole phase where, I remember when you conducted the whole thing of taking like the fashion students to London and stuff. Like you have empowered so many women. You have conducted so many interesting things in your life with fashion, art, marketing, starting a whole like empire with your partner. Everything, right?
I think that was really fun. Starting a business with someone, and I think starting a business with a friend, now you with this podcast, which is going to be so much fun, but also starting a business with my husband, very, very interesting and very, very fun. And I think those perspectives will really, I don't know.
Tie everything in.
Yeah, tie everything in. But I also think there might be sometimes controversial. I'm totally okay with that. Because I feel like that's what adds spice to our life. It's not always perfect and like hunky-dory. I think there are days when...
Listen, we're all apart. Like controversies are like built in our DNA. We're Indian. So I think it is important to have some of it. We're not going to be too good also on this show. We need some of like, like wake-up calls and reminders, and like even our guests, we're going to ask you guys the hard questions.
And more real questions, right? Because I feel like we're in that perfection era. The aesthetic is perfect, Instagram feeds are perfect, life looks perfect, relationship looks perfect. But behind the scenes, it's rarely ever that. And I feel like,
It's the imperfections that like make you stand out.
and
Otherwise,
that's what actually makes the most beautiful art as well, right? Like the whole concept behind the piece, behind you, when
shall
you
we
are
talk about that? Shall
yeah,
we talk?
we
Okay.
should.
So you guys can see this is basically our first piece. So we're going to name it called, what have we named it? Scene Saying.
Yeah.
So the reason we've called it Scene Saying is because we believe that every day we have a thought and process of who we are as people, and we don't choose to see much of it because there's so much going on. We have roles, responsibilities, like, you know, like you said, motherhood and being a wife and being a daughter-in-law. Like there's 100 roles we play, and we don't see a reflection of who we are unless we stand in front of the mirror while we're getting ready, or you know, in the night when like we're like wearing down. So this piece Saisha and I have curated is based on reflections of who we are, what we think, what we really, you know, make us function on day-to-day basis and stuff like that. So it's just like words and, you know, like the whole thoughts and the processes that go into a mirror. And
Yeah, and I loved it because I felt like we weren't taking it too seriously. I
Yeah.
felt like it wasn't too perfect, where we were like, oh, we need to seem like over intellectual. Wow, I lost how to speak for a second. We don't have to be over intellectual. We don't have to have every word perfect, but this is just more of how we speak on an everyday basis with our friends, the kind of language that we use that becomes so much more relatable to even the people watching, right? Where I'm not trying to over explain an idea of how cubism works through
Yeah.
my mirror,
Yeah.
but it's more about like, hey, these are things that are an actual reflection of who we are and how we speak and how we evolve as people through different phases of our life, whether it's being like you said, like a mother, a founder, a wife, a friend even, because I think being friends is
it's tough.
it's tough.
Yeah.
And we don't talk about it enough, but it comes, it
Friendship
feels,
after your 30s especially, like
Oh
I
my
think it's
God.
one of the most difficult things to maintain.
yeah, it is, because priorities change, right? Like when you're kids, when you're in school, and in fact, I have actually a fun story. I had someone join our team who came in with the expectation to become friends with everybody.
Yeah.
And she wanted to essentially have like her colleagues be her friends. And she struggled, and she genuinely did struggle because, and I understood why she struggled, because I feel like, you know, when you go to school or when you go to college, a big priority is shaping your personality,
Friendships, oh my God.
friendships,
I
things
had a
like
phase.
that.
I had a phase. I just had to be friends with everybody on Facebook at one point. Like, I was like, oh my God, I need to have more and more friends. I need to write on like walls. Like, this is like,
Exactly. Even
And
high five back in the day, oh my God, that was such an iconic moment in our childhood.
yeah.
So, and when I saw her struggle, I realized that, you know, when you cross your like college and you're going into your work, profession, career, and things like that, friendships become harder because priorities change and who we are changes. And even taste change. You develop such a strong personality, right? So my likes and my dislikes, the kind of restaurants I want to go to, the kind of holidays I want to plan, the kind of music I listen to, or the kind of artists I follow, or what influences me, or what I like to surround myself with. What's my algorithm, basically?
Yeah.
And does this person fit into my algorithm? And that becomes such a big change in who we are. So I genuinely think that is something that we'll touch up on in a lot of our conversations, but in very subtle ways, because I feel like we rekindled our friendship.
Yeah, funny story to how Saisha and I met. If like people want to know, you do want to know. It's funny. I've known Saisha. I think we were just like random friends on Facebook.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, like we were just like, oh, everyone's adding everybody.
But we were in the same school.
Cool chick, like let's add her. We were all just in the same headspace, never met, never anything. And then randomly, 3 years later, at an influencer gig, You don't even remember it in Olive, like in
I
Olive
have
Beach.
pregnancy brain,
Yeah.
but she doesn't.
Yeah, no, I remember. I'm very like how I meet like the important people in my life. I'm so specific about it. I was there sitting, and then there was a chair empty, and I'm so scared because it's an influencer event. In 2018, you're very cool, right? Like if you're invited to an influencer gig, and not even 18, I think 16 or 17. I just came back from Singapore, and I was sitting, and it was empty, and then this girl, she walks in, and then she sits next to me, and I'm like looking at you because I was like, and you're like, Saisha, like you're Ruhi. And then I was like, oh yeah. And then we ended up speaking for the whole like event. That's what we even forgot what the event was or what was
Oh my God,
happening.
I think I remember this
Yeah,
vaguely.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
I
yeah.
do.
Then I think Saisha and I were always, friends, always like the friends that, you watch what's going on with each other, like you're there, like you're present.
Yeah.
Then I think there was a distinct point in our lives where we both realized, oh my God, we freaking love, oh, not so freaking is
Oh my God, you can say freaking.
freaking is fine. I thought I got confused.
She's in her mom era.
Yeah, I don't know.
She's being very
Controlling very
careful of
hard.
her
Even my
language.
F's don't come out very normally now. So basically, I think we connected very hard when we got back to the whole like art industry, right? Like when you had your like art spirituality awakening, and I think I did it too. I think that's
Yeah.
where the connection got so much more
Yeah.
with things.
I agree. And then randomly one day she posted a story. I think she was just like, if I had, I don't know, you reposted a
Yeah,
post
yeah,
and she was
yeah.
like, oh my God, if I had a podcast, the things I would say. And at the same time, her husband tells her, if you ever have a podcast, you should do it with Saisha.
Not even same time. He told me like a week before, because I was like, we were watching a podcast together, and then something, and I was like, Manmat, I would be so good at like a podcast. I feel. And then he's like, who you should do it with? And I was like, who? And then, because I never imagined him, specifically saying names and stuff. And he's like, Saisha. And I was like, I love that you thought that, because in my mind also, that's the only name.
Yeah.
And then when I put that story up, it's uncanny because Kabir messaged me also. He's like, I know somebody who would be like perfect. So I feel like at this point, there were like 4 people who already decided the podcast
Yeah.
already. But yeah, this is how Loose Ends came to play. This is how like everything happened. We magically have like a third little guest also. Like this happened during the whole podcast
Yeah.
planning and everything. Yeah. So, okay. Just to quickly, like dip our feet in, I'm going to ask you a few questions.
Okay, come for me.
Yeah. So when it comes to art and fashion exactly, let's just take them as 2 very separate things, even though, you have like a connection with both of them.
Yeah.
What is your more like connection, like your spirituality connects to what?
I think it would connect. Oh my God, that's such a good question.
Yeah, like spiritually, when, there's fashion and there's art. We both know you studied in London. That's,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think a lot more with art because I feel like I relate to it. It's just a very diverse world, though fashion is art. Fashion is a small part of a larger picture of art for me, so I think art overarching for sure.
Okay. If you had to go to Chanel versus Musée des Arts in Paris, which one would you take? Your Chanel appointment or your Musée des Arts?
Actually,
Yeah.
Musée des Arts.
Yeah, actually, I knew you would say that.
Because Chanel is like pretty accessible. If you told me if I was going for my Hermes appointment, that's
Yeah,
something I would
yeah,
have
okay,
thought
maybe I
about.
should have gone with the Hermes, but like you always give out more Chanel to me, so yeah.
Really?
Yeah, like
Oh,
always the Chanel, like the
Vibes?
poster of like, yeah, poster child for Chanel.
wow, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
I did a whole like anti-Chanel bit in my life. I was so
Really?
anti-Chanel. It was all to do with like art history, and I was like, oh my God, Hitler, hate him.
Oh yeah.
I went through that whole phase.
Sad. Okay, cool. Contemporary art, modern art.
I think modern right now, but it keeps shifting.
Okay, David LaChapelle or Caravaggio?
Caravaggio.
Caravaggio, that's a nice one. Okay, wait, you said Hermes, right? So if
Yeah.
I had to, if you had an Hermes appointment versus like an week in Greece with like, like doing an art precedented courses, the ones where you just go and you switch off and you do the painting. You paint
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you
like an
connect.
artist residency.
Yeah, a residency.
Um, I would take the Hermes appointment because I want to build my own. I want to build my own artist residence.
Yeah, it's so weird. I love the whole art vibe, but I would connect to that as well.
Okay, fine. Now I'll ask you.
Okay, cool. Ask.
Yeah.
Keep it to like some normal stuff.
Normal.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try.
Okay.
I'll make yours maybe a little bit more difficult. Okay, art or fashion? Same question,
Any day art.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I think fashion is such a small part of like the art world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Iris Van Hopen or Schiaparelli?
Schiaparelli.
Yeah.
Yeah. Both of them are the crazy level of cool, but like Schiaparelli, yeah.
Shopping in Paris or shopping in Milan?
Milan has been such a heartbreak for me. Like I love Milan to death. My sister-in-law lives there. I mean, that's like our frequent like fly. But I would shop in Paris any day, even though I've not had the best experiences in general in Paris.
Yeah.
But the shopping has been killer. Paris.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. What about you? Same question.
Paris any day. I don't like Milan.
Yeah.
I'm very anti. I don't know. I don't like Milan as a city. I don't like the vibe. I'm more of a Florence girl, which I think you know as well. You called it. She's like, you're going to Florence. You're going to love it. It's your city. But yeah. Your time in Singapore, your time in Florence.
Oh my God, Florence.
Any day.
Any day.
You met your husband in Singapore.
I love Singapore. I love that I met him there, everything. But if you asked education-wise, my 3 years versus my 3 months in Florence was nothing. I had my art spiritual awakening in Florence. Like first of all, I went alone.
Yeah.
Like another thing is, I loved Singapore. I always had my boyfriend, then boyfriend, now husband, as my comfort space and stuff like that. But I loved Florence because it was my first trip completely alone, completely on myself. I went through so much. I got robbed. Yeah.
Oh my God, we need to talk about that.
Yeah, we'll get to like stories when we studied.
I think people should leave it in the comments below so that next episode is just
we
about
have
our
questions.
story.
Yeah, like we need to know like even your time in London and stuff. We need
Yeah.
like details. But yeah, just in thing. But I had the best time in Florence. I had my spiritual awakening in Florence. There were days that I think I visited every art museum there, and I know you would have also loved it. The food, the culture, the fact that you can just sit there and like enjoy with yourself, and like there's like a whole Neptune statue behind.
Yeah, I
like
know, stunning.
I love
It is a
Florence.
beautiful city.
Yeah.
Okay, I know you collect sunglasses. Your favorite pair of sunglasses right now?
My favorite pair of sunglasses right now, I'm stuck between two. One is Gentle Monster. I really love Gentle Monsters.
Yeah.
It's like I've started collecting them as like pieces because I also find them very individually really beautiful. And my Tom Fords, like I'm back with either the small, either the big.
Yeah.
You.
Me?
Shoot, yeah.
Sunglasses.
I know you love your sunglasses too.
Yeah, I do. I get that from my mom.
Yeah.
Honestly, I want everything in my mom's wardrobe.
We need a whole episode for that as well. Like I need to ask her like the whole like what it is like to like live, like grow up also with like already like somebody so iconic. She is iconic. She has her
She's
own
iconic in my eyes for sure. And like
clothing brand and like what she's done for herself in the industry and you know like every detail.
Yeah, no, I think that's something that was going to be so much fun to talk about. But honestly, the one thing I'm so excited to gain from her or to inherit from her is her wardrobe. And that's her sunglass collection because it is unreal. She probably has like 250 sunglasses. And every time I go to meet her, I just rate her wardrobe and I find the most unique, like recently I found these vintage Christian Dior sunglasses that I just stole from her and I'm absolutely obsessed with them. So yeah, I'm just super excited to inherit her entire wardrobe, all her bags and her shoes. And her shoes, she's oh my God, if someone can buy shoes the way her jewelry too.
Yeah, I've seen some bits and pieces of her jewelry.
My husband calls me Bappy Larry because my mother gives me so much jewelry to wear. And he's just like, you need to chill. You really need to chill.
I love that.
Okay, I have a
started
question for you.
collecting your pieces though?
Yeah, I have.
Cute.
Sort of. But I just feel like, why waste my money when my
When you
mom's
have the
wasted all of hers?
heritage jewelry coming in.
Yeah.
Cute.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Shoot.
How did you choose which school to put Zai in? Because I know you picked something that leans very art forward.
Yeah.
And I love that. When you told me the story, I was like, oh my God, my child is going to that school.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll tell you a funny thing about this school. Firstly, I got to know it through one of our friends, Shipra. Her son goes there, and both of our kids are like best friends. They've been best friends from the time they've been born. He goes there. That's how I got to know of this school. The funny thing is, parents deep dive into like what the school has to offer, like, oh, like what food has been given, or how good the thing is, or I'm like that weirdo where I have literally seen that the school had this whole cute modern art museum day kind of vibe where they, they displayed all the art pieces like you're literally visiting like Saatchi Gallery. Like it's so beautiful, and I was just like stunned with how amazing that was, and that's when I saw it and I was like, that's it, he has to go there, that's it.
Oh my God.
And
When
like,
you said Saatchi Gallery, I was like, that used to be
it's
my go-to like hangout
in
spot in London.
London.
I would love going, I would
Can
walk down to
imagine.
Saatchi. Just be like, there's something or the other happening here and I'd love it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, oh my God.
Saatchi or Victoria and Albert Museum?
Honestly, very different, no?
Yeah,
like
yeah, they're
Victoria,
different,
yeah,
actually.
like quite
They're quite
different.
different.
Like Saatchi's more gallery vibes, it's easier, it's not so much to consume, but I still love a good V&A visit.
Yeah.
I still love a good V&A visit. Tate Modern or Victoria and Albert?
Tate Modern, any day. I won't even hear that.
I used to do raves at Tate. I used to do Friday night raves at Tate.
This is why
It
we
used to
need
be
a
so
whole
much
London
fun.
series and episode, I think, at this point.
Yeah, they have the best Friday nights at Tate ever. So, for sure, Tate.
Nice, nice. I love that.
Okay, Manmat or Zai?
I'm going to ask her this question literally in like what, 3 months? Yeah, 3 months, and
Yeah.
then we will see. We will see. I love my husband to death, but he has literally given me another mini version of him. So I basically love him in a smaller version.
Yeah.
And I love that the smaller version's way more obsessed. So
Cute.
we have our answer. And with you,
Without a doubt.
yeah, but with you, I feel like I know what I'm going to ask and I know what you're going to say. I was going to ask you Kabir and like Biggie and Snoop. Also, in context, they treat their dogs like children. When I say children, they're literally like way more than even children are.
Yeah, they literally are. They're like our lives. Like, we never wanted to be parents. Never. It was never in the cards. Like, never. I never pictured myself being a mom. He never pictured himself being a dad. Because we were dog parents. And he never had a dog before Biggie. So, Biggie was his first pet ever. And as soon as we got her, he just went into complete dad mode. And everyone told us we'd make amazing parents just because of how we treated our dogs.
Yeah.
Like, they eat the best food. They've traveled everywhere with us. They do literally everything with us.
Biggie's like the Imran Hashmi of dogs also.
Imran, huh?
Yeah, literally, she is like a kiss monster. Like you
Yeah,
won't
she is. She loves to lick. She's a lick attacker. Oh my God, I love that. I'm going to call her. I am calling
She is
her
the Imran
that.
Hashmi because, like, I remember when we went to meet her and then Manmat went home and he had to. Oh, in context, I was obsessed with Biggie when I saw Saisha got her in the starting, and I was like, Saisha, I want to gift Manmat his first dog because he also never had a dog, and I was like, I also met Biggie once, and I was like, I'm obsessed. I want to get him a Frenchie because I know that'll suit him as a person. And the funny thing is, Saisha gave me the contacts, and actually they're all related, right? Like, I feel like Gigi, that's when Gigi came, because that's where I got the, like, we did the whole same process with Gigi.
Same.
And we got Gigi, who is now not even a child. She literally thinks it's weird to say, but she is my husband's, like, other wife. Like, that's how close and attached they are. Sometimes I'm, like, really, like, am I even there? And then everybody is like, you axed your own leg, you got him the dog. And I was like, yeah, I know, I got him the dog.
But that's cute. You have Zai, he has Gigi.
He has Gigi, so we're all balanced out right now. But yeah.
No, that's super cute. I love that we have pets too.
And they're
And our
from the
children
same
are gonna-
family, yeah.
And our children are going to grow up with animals, and I feel like that is so, so special.
Okay. It's more like it's not a rapid fire, but it's like a question. I want to know exactly what you felt when, you got to know you were pregnant. Like like that minute, and I want like the rawest answer of what it was.
I was actually, you know this, because we were planning. We were
Yeah.
properly planning, and
Yeah.
I'd spoken to you about it.
But it was somewhere like end of the year, right?
Yeah, it was fully end of the year. It was like, you start a process and it doesn't just happen overnight. But it happened, and we were like, when I found out, we found out together, because when I did the test, he was with me, and both of us just looked at each other. We were like, this can't be real. Like, it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
We were in shock. We were in absolute shock. It was absolutely unbelievable. We did not expect to see like it be positive, but it was. And then once it sunk in, we were happy. But it took a while to sink in. It wasn't just immediate like, oh my God, we're so happy, tears, da da da. It was just like, what? This is happening?
Damn.
So it took a moment.
And how was pregnancy in the first get-go of it? How was like your first 3 months?
There were a few rough days, but once it sunk in, I kind of put myself in a headspace where I was like, I am not going to be miserable. I'm going to love the process, the hard times, the good times, the really difficult times. Like today morning was really difficult for me, but I'm just not going to be miserable, because I feel like you need to create an environment of positivity around you, especially when you want to do something so big with your life. So I've enjoyed the process thoroughly, even when it's been difficult. And it does get difficult. It's not.
It gets. And can I just say, Saisha's been one of the most inspiring people when I've seen her through her pregnancy journey, because, you see her on Instagram and like she's there with her bump, and so many of us, like I'm very open. Like I was very afraid, because at start it was all like, oh, don't tell people, Nazar, don't tell this, Nazar, don't show your bump, Nazar. Like that's one of the biggest reasons I held back on so much.
Yeah.
And I feel like, you are out there being like, listen, nothing can touch me unless it wants to. And that's also a fact, right? Like, I feel like all of us are like really built in our systems to believe in the concept of like the evil eye, or like something bad's going to happen, that we're not there living life.
We don't live to
100%. Yeah,
oh my God, my stepdad, my mom recently, my grandmother, they're all like, this is not what people do. And I'm like, I'm not people.
Yeah.
It's okay.
You have to live your own life, have your own individuality, and you can't just live in fear.
Yeah, when you live in fear, I feel like you box yourself up and you lose a lot of experiences that can help shape you. And I said this to you, and I said this to actually two of my best friends who have been like sending me Nazar emojis, like evil eye emojis on Instagram every day, and like commenting on all my things with the evil eye emojis. And even you, and you're like, please solve for a bath. I'm going to take out your Nazar. And I love
baths
that.
are good.
Yeah, which I do. And I love that. And I love that I have such a great support system around me. But my response to them has always been that, I'll return that Nazar with my aura, because like you said, nothing can touch you if you don't want it to. You allow energies in. And if you don't allow that energy in, I'm not even processing the negativity. Like, I'm just like, if I don't process it, it's not affecting me.
It's not there,
Yeah, so I think that's been...
I love that. That's really inspiring. That's like how you should be.
You've been there for me through that. And I think that's something I'm not someone who's religious or like, deeply God-fearing in that sense. But I feel like with Ruhi, she has been such an amazing support system. And all of this started before I was even pregnant. So it's not something that like randomly came up, right? But the second she found out, the kind of environment she's created around me, the support, the tips, the tricks, and it's not like overwhelming, you should do it like this. She's always been like, I'm a call away. You need anything, whatever you need, advising me on like things to buy, where to buy them, how to be mindful with my finances, which is something that we want to talk to you guys about.
So important.
Yeah, like how, after you reach a certain age, you need financial independence, whether it's in a marriage or whether it's in a friendship, whether it's however. I feel like all of those tips and that advice through this process has just made it feel so comforting. And I feel like I've always told her she needs to start like a prenatal advisory or something of that sort, because it's just been a blessing.
It would just, the whole advice series would just be like, you do you, sister.
Yeah, you do. Okay, last question for you on motherhood.
Okay.
How do you feel like you are as a mother, and how have you approached motherhood? Because I feel like you have the most good-looking, stylish, like he dresses so well. I don't get it. Like he's like one of those typical Instagram reel boys, those like babies that we see.
Carries it out
and he
himself.
just carries his outfits so well. He's gonna be a fashion icon when he grows up. But barring that, he just feels like such a calm personality. And I know he's like, I'm sure he's excited. He's a baby.
He's a dinosaur when he has to be. Yeah.
But I want to know, how have you approached motherhood, and how has that experience been for you?
Okay, so honestly, about me, and a lot of people who know this also, I have been in like groups and friendships. I've also known to be the mother of the group. Like that's how I've been as a characteristic. Also, I have a brother. He's about like 11 years younger to me. And it was more like I've begged for him to be there, like I've forced my parents and pushed them, and I've been like, I want a sibling. So they took the whole 11 years later decision to have one. So I had no choice but to automatically be his other mother. But I think it also came very naturally to me. That's who I've been. Even with like friends and generally everybody, I'm generally a very like mother kind of a person.
Yeah.
I'm always like, have you done this?
Mom of
Have
the
you done this?
gang.
I think I've done that to you also so many times.
Yeah.
So I think if you ask me how motherhood has come, I think it just came very naturally from the start. Like I've always been that person. So, and especially with a boy, like I've handled boys, like it's been like easier to handle boys around me because I've had like my nephews and my brother, and then like now when he's come, it feels very like normal and natural to me. Like he's my baby. Like it's just
it's
a
so
very
cute.
it's not some drastic thing. It's just that when the birth happened, it was like, oh my god, I did this. Apart from that, it's just been a very
Oh my god, the most positive birth story ever. She made me want to like, be like, I can do it like this. I was like, whoa.
No, I tell people you should listen to my birth story because my birth story is one of the nice birth stories that don't freak you out.
Not at all. It actually gave me so much confidence.
Yeah, I heard 10,000 scary birth stories that like freaked me out till the ending. So yeah, like I think it's a calmer birth story.
Yeah, my nighttime routine now is listening to positive birth stories on YouTube. It's so much fun. And the day before yesterday, Kabir looked at me and he's like, I'm getting nervous. Can you please put that off? And I was like, okay. He's like, I think I'm going to faint. I'm like, no, it's super chill. We'll play some music. We'll have like a
fun.
chat.
Yeah, you say that and then they are like clueless. We're going to do definitely a full-blown episode on like birth stories.
Yeah.
Maybe a little later, so we have yours also included. Yeah, but still, it's a
Season
fun
2.
one. Season 2.
Yeah. Vivek, who's behind the camera, we kind of set everything up with him.
Yeah.
And we were about to shoot, but then I went completely AWOL because I was in my first trimester and I couldn't tell anyone.
I was worried. Is she moving to like Africa or something? What's going on?
I hadn't told anyone. Ruhi was actually, she found out the same day I told my parents because I was like, I have committed to her.
Yes.
So I need her to know. And I obviously couldn't tell anybody else.
But I had a feeling. I always had a feeling. But I just wanted her to tell me because I never want to put somebody on the spot, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, are you pregnant? And like, I don't want to put anybody on that spot. So.
Yeah, so I know we've taken longer than anticipated, but we have valid, very valid reasons. But we're so excited to finally bring this to you guys because I feel like there's so much you can get to know about her, about me, our similarities, our differences, our interests, our taste, the kind of culture we want to create around ourselves, the kind of environment we want to create around ourselves.
The art education we want to give people, because let's
Exactly.
face it, I know there's a lot of you who don't know what you're saying.
A lot.
A lot.
A lot. And then get guests on board, get different points of view.
Where we've connected a lot of our guests to like reflections, again, like Seen saying, where we want to talk on like a lot of reflections, whether it's motherhood or how they're coping with life, or whether they want to have a baby, or like generally
Or not.
spirituality, yeah, fashion, so much. So it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, and the loose ends are where things actually get interesting, like Ruhi said, the cliffhangers. So we hope to keep you guys hooked.
Yeah.
Stay tuned, and
tuned.
we'll be out with new episodes weekly.
Yeah.
You have to commit, lock in, so that you guys can tune in every week for new episodes, really fun episodes, and we promise to entertain you guys, but also educate you guys.
And this is what the young people are doing these days.
We'll do that.